Well, welcome everybody to our Wednesday night Zoom call. I love that we have these calls now and we're able to see each other. It's so much fun and it's so much more engaging, and I think I can feel everybody's energy and I really, really love it. And so as you guys know, we start out every call with recognition, and I am going to do a little recognition first, if that's okay. I have the first person I want to recognize, actually, before I start with recognition, is my sister Robin, who's not on the call tonight. And I don't know how many of her team are on the call, and I don't know how many of you realize that Robin's going for a really, really big, huge, super scary, really hard goal. And she's going for 5-star, and it's a huge stretch. 5-star is 100 cycles a week, and each cycle is $54. So there is no if, because failure is not an option. When she hits her goal this week, she will make $5,400 this week. And she's been game planning this for a month. She is completely 100% committed. She's pulling out all the stops. If you saw her papers and her notebook and her master whiteboard, her plans, I think she reached out to almost 200 people today. 200 people. And so I just want everybody to send her lots of good energy, because she's still at it, and she just didn't want to kind of break her rhythm, and she's staying really laser focused on what she's doing. She's taking it one day at a time, and she's just one day at a time, one person at a time, one enrollment at a time, and I know she's going to do it, and I'm really I'm already proud of her. And I'm going to be really excited on Sunday night. So I just wanted to acknowledge her. And I wanted to acknowledge Lisa and Diana, who have been right by her side throughout this whole process, getting ready for Push Week and getting the Facebook group together. And it's really something to see the team pulling together. So I want to pass recognition over to Tara. Tara, do you have any recognition for us?
Yes, I sure do, and I'm sorry I'm a little phone, but we have no internet here at the storm zone of Effingham. So I would like to recognize Amanda Stroud. I know she's on vacation, and we didn't get to announce it last week, but Amanda went Crystal Executive last week, which is huge. She's my first personally enrolled Crystal Executive, and I am so super proud of her and all of her hard work to get it in before the deadline. So hopefully she'll listen to this call when she gets back, and I am super proud of you, Amanda. That's all I got, Dawn. Thanks.
Okay, and I'm going to do some recognition that I'm really excited about. Zach's out at a structure fire, so I'm going to do his recognition. And Zach had Chad Crampton, who went consultant this week, and then Dawn Calvert's Team Boom Sauce is making it happen, and it's really, really, really exciting to watch. We've got Melissa, I'm not going to say it right, Bensker. Sorry, Melissa, if I said it wrong. Melissa Bensker, who went consultant. Joe Galloway went consultant, and then Christina Easton and Renee Fregali both had their first enrollment, and I know Renee's got another one on the way. So I'm really, really, really excited about what's happening on Team Boom Sauce, and from what I've been told, that is just the beginning, and lots more on the way. And I think I have one more acknowledgement to make. I believe that our ISA family is about to grow by one, like Janice. Is that correct? Do we have a baby Janice on the way?
Yeah, that's correct. In late January, the second Janice will be here. So we're really excited and glad to share with our Isogenics family.
Well, we're really excited for you too. So congratulations for everybody. So we're going to get started because we have so many great questions. We have this panel of experts, which we're really lucky to have. And here's what I want to say to you going into this call. So we're going to address all these questions, and we're going to show you how we answer them. But I'm going to suggest to you that instead of learning all these answers and learning everything there is to know about everything there is to know, we've got experts, and you're going to hear them answer these questions, and you're going to go, oh my God, wow, I never even thought to answer it that way, or oh my God, that's a great answer, I got to remember that, oh, I got to write that one down. Well, how about just bring your person to the expert? Like, how about when you have somebody that, when somebody says, wow, Beth Miller, in 4 months, you look incredible, holy mackerel, what are you doing? You just say, you know, I'm just doing what they told me to do. It works. I feel amazing. I don't really understand all the like science and all of it. I would love for you to talk to my coach. He's the one that taught me everything I know. Do you want to talk to my coach? I'll set you up on a three-way. Or, you know, he's really great. He works over at the hospital, and he's got a medical background, and he's awesome. And you know, he can tell you all about way more about these products than I have. That's even if you know everything there is to know about the products. There's magic in bringing people to a three-way call. There's magic in bringing people to an expert. You don't want to talk to an expert. They feel really good that you brought them to an expert to explain the whole thing to them, that you think that highly of wanting to communicate with them, that you want an expert to tell them, and not just, oh, there's these shakes, and then I take these pills at noon, and there's this juice stuff that you drink. I don't really like it so much, but it's really good, and I don't go to the bathroom a lot, and, you know, like, really? We're bringing them to somebody who really can not only explain all the science behind it, but is really well versed at handling their objections and bringing them through a process of understanding what this is all about and handling the objections. So we're gonna give you some information about, like, we're gonna tell you how we answer the questions, but I'm gonna suggest to you that even though it might seem kind of weird, bringing people that are interested to an expert is actually your best bet for getting them enrolled. Just saying. So our first question, and this is the big one, so we're taking it on first so you can hear all the ways that we do it. Our first question is, oh my gosh, I would Beth Miller, I would love to, Beth, you happen to be on my screen right in front of me right now, that's why I keep picking on you. I would love to look, I would love to do what you're doing, and I would love to look how you look right now, but it is way too expensive. It is just way too expensive. I don't even know how you're affording it, but like, it's not for our family budget. So I'm going to give all of our panel's experts a chance to answer this one. Mike, you're first because you happen to also be in front of me on the.
And
Yep.
Dawn, do you want to introduce our panel so that everybody?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm going to introduce our panels. Thank you, Genevieve. So we are really, really lucky to have such a wealth of resources and expertise on our team.
This call.
And right here we have Mike Janis. For those of you who don't know Mike, Mike is actually, oh, don't make me say it, Mike, Director of Ancillary Patient Services and Radiology. Is it right? Is it
Close enough.
That's
Close
pretty
enough.
dang good.
over at the hospital, and he's also an athlete. He's a runner. He's a full-time dad, about to be even a fuller-time dad. And he's been just an awesome. He's also a really great analyzer. He's like the numbers guy, business strategies. So Mike brings a lot of resources to our team. And then we have Abigail Doodle. Hello, Abigail Doodle. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
And what I know about Abigail Doodle is that she is a medical doctor. I don't even know any of your background or where you're studied or anything. She's a medical doctor who was told about these products maybe for a couple of years and finally decided to give them a try. Genevieve had told her about them and finally decided to give them a try and was so impressed by her own results and kind of saw that this really does bring a solution and has actually recommended it to quite a few of her patients who are using the program. Is that fair enough?
Absolutely right.
And then we have Genevieve Elliott. Genevieve, actually, for those of you who don't know, is a graduate of the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. Is that right, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
And she's been with our team for about 4 years. She's also really just an amazing person, amazing wealth of a lot of information that she brings from having done all of that work. And she's a really good friend of mine too. And we never knew each other before Isogenics. So that's pretty cool the way that happens. And we have Tara Flake. And Tara, for those of you who don't know, Genevieve's also, personal physical therapist. And Tara also is a physical therapist and a personal trainer. And she owned a gym. And she actually closed the gym so that she could do Isagenix full time. Genevieve left her job as a physical therapist on May 13th, her Freedom Day, to do Isagenix full time. And so this is a pretty heavy. Oh, Tara's also an athlete. She does like Iron Women, and she like rides hundreds of miles on her bike and does like all kind of crazy shit. Stuff. She really, she does more. Tara does more before 8 o'clock in the morning than most of you do in a day as far as working out. So that's our panel, and I would love to try it, Tara Flag, but it's way too expensive.
Well, thank you, Dawn, for that wonderful introduction. So what I usually do in this situation, there's many ways to approach this, and I'm sure some of the other people on the panel will say it a different way. But the one I've been using recently is when someone says that, you say back to them, if you had to which 2 meals are you going to replace with Isagenix? And, you know, we always recommend that they replace breakfast. So then they would either say lunch or dinner. And then you say, okay, now tell me what you currently eat for breakfast. Okay? And then they tell you whatever they may tell you, and you write it down or commit it to your head. And let's just say they say breakfast and lunch. You say, okay, now what do you eat for lunch every day? And you commit it to your mind. And then I say, do you have any, like, you know, go to Starbucks habits? Or, oh yeah. You go to Starbucks every day. You get a scone from Joe Sippers every day. Okay, so it looks like if we add all of this up, you're spending approximately $12 a day on breakfast and lunch and your snacks. Do you agree with that? And I mean, they just told you what they did, so they would say, yeah. You say, awesome. I have the perfect package to fit your needs for $12 a day. Are you ready to get started? There you go. That's mine. So Genevieve, do you want to take a stab at that?
Yeah, and that sounds great. That's a variation on one of the things that I do. So honestly, if people are actually asking that question, a lot of times we haven't asked enough questions yet. So that's a really big and important thing, because we want to make sure that we've asked enough questions so that people feel really, really good about wanting to do this. And many people that are feeling really good about wanting to do this are going to figure out a way. So for those that really, really, truly say, I'm in, I absolutely want this, and I literally have $16 in my bank account. Okay, well, if you are that committed, then are you open to having me show you how you can actually get these products paid for? And then we get to have that conversation, and I get to explain that you bring 2 people on board right away, and I get to go through you +2, them +2. And it really gives you an opportunity to figure out just how committed they really are. And you'll, oh, wow, I mean, you can see it and hear it right away. Oh, yeah, okay, tell me more. Or all of a sudden, other potential reasons might show up, and then you realize that the expensive thing maybe isn't really as accurate as they say. But the other thing that I do is I ask people, I say, you know, may I ask you some more questions? And I don't ask what 2 meals. I ask them, I start with how many times a week do you eat out? How many times a week do you go to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts? How much do you spend on supplements and groceries per week? And we break it down that way. And then once we come up with a number, then I explain to them it's just a reallocation of the money that you're already spending.
Yeah, because a lot of people, I mean, this is straight up, this is the one thing you got to understand when you're talking to people. And again, you're really better off bringing them to one of these experts who know how to go through this whole process. But as soon as you say how much it is, they're mentally adding it to their monthly bills, adding it to their monthly budget, and they're going, no way. They're not understanding that they're taking this money and putting it here. They're just adding it on. So Tara, Mike, what do you got?
Okay, I think we'll go back just a little bit here. So I think and this is a perfect point right here.
I'm with my dad here.
I think this is the exact reason I'm in Isagenix, my family, and being with them. So connecting with that why. So a lot of times when someone brings up the finances, it's an excuse. Most of the time, Herb and Patty Zepeda, it's one of my favorite sayings is, if they say no, it's just because they don't K-N-O-W enough. So connecting their why, what is it that is their is really the reason they're coming to you? So if you would have said way back when, if I can show you a way that you can lose, 20 or 30 pounds, you have a ton more energy when you get home from work to be with your daughter. Your family is going to notice a difference in changing you. You're going to feel better in your clothes. You're going to feel amazing. What does that value that to you? And back then, when I was finishing my MBA, I'd say, that's priceless. The fact that I could be there with my family and that too. So I think what really you need to do, and I would just say, don't worry about going at it alone. Don't go at it alone. Just like, I hear all the time from David Wood, every master was once a disaster. Well, I was a hot mess when I started this. So get help from somebody where they can walk through these things with you, where you can find out what it is their why. What is it that the reason that they're truly coming to you for? What are they looking for? And then once you have that why, I build my story around it, because a lot of times I can connect with people from, I'm busy. I've got a full-time job. I've got this part-time business, and I'm part of 2 non-for-profits and a dad. I want to be there for my kids, and part of that is finding a way to do this in the pockets of my life, and I absolutely love it. And people feel that passion, and then all of a sudden money kind of trickles away. And then if money truly is a problem, kind of like Genevieve said, then we'll work through that. And I've worked through that with people, and I kind of we have someone on our team that's on disability income. There's nothing wrong with that, and they're able to do it on disability income, and I think that's awesome. And the fact that if you really want it, I'm going to walk with you, and we're going to get this done. And if you go through that with somebody, it's going to happen. And then I guess the last thing I want to say real quick is that if they do eventually say no, don't be connected to that. Follow up with them, still love on them, and don't be connected to the fact that somebody says no, because sometimes it may not be the right time in their life.
Agreed. I agree. Thank you, Mike. And what about you, Dr. Abigail?
Well, the one thing that I often ask people is, do you have any bad habits? Nobody's going to say no. And I say to them, okay, let's replace those with some good habits. Here's a way that we can do that. Get them interested in the things they already want to stop doing, and give them some new things to do. Very often it changes the way they're thinking about what this is going to do for them. It's not a diet. It's a new way of life. It's a way and a time to turn over a new stone. And this may be the way to get it started. And that often gets people's attention.
And there's a couple other things. People say, thanks, Dr. Kathy. People say it's way too expensive, and you say, compared to what? Like, compared to what? Like, what are you basing what you're saying on? It's expensive compared to, not being able to get on the floor and play with your kids. It's expensive. Like, and what I say a lot. I say, okay, well, so what have you been using? Oh, I use whatever. Give it. So would you rather waste money on something that doesn't work, or actually spend a little bit more money, if it's more than what they're spending, on something that's guaranteed to give you results? Or you say, this is one of my favorite lines I heard recently, and then we're going to move off of this one. A lot of moms won't spend money on themselves, right? They will spend money on the family. They will spend money on their kids, the family, but they're not going to spend money on themselves. And so when you get down to it and you're having that conversation and you're talking to a mom and you say, and they say, oh, the money, you say, well, who in your household is suffering because you don't feel good? Who in your household is suffering because you don't have any energy, that you're stressed out, that you're not feeling good about yourself? And the answer is the whole family. And when you put it in those terms, and doing this for herself would be doing it for the whole family, a lot of times that'll turn it around. So I'm just going to flip around a little bit. Everybody knows what they're doing. How about this one? I can buy whey protein at Costco for a lot less, or get a better protein at my bodybuilder site. Kara?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. There are a lot of protein shakes out there, a ton. Have you ever been in GNC or a vitamin store? There are a ton. The thing is, guys, is the quality of our protein is so superior compared to others. But we don't want to say that. We don't want to say ours is better than theirs. because that kind of makes us not look so good. I mean, we have a lot of people in our area on Beachbody. I will never compare Isogenics to Beachbody and say that. I will tell them what's in our shakes. I will tell them that it's undenatured whey protein. I will explain a little bit, depending on the person on the other end, if they seem interested in learning more about what undenatured is. I'll tell them about the 5 proteases in it, the 70 minerals, the 20 amino acids. And the biggest difference, guys, with our shakes compared to others is the net protein utilization. When we heat the shakes to 100 degrees, let them sit for 30 minutes at least, we are getting over 90% net protein utilization. You are not getting that with any other shake out there. Guaranteed. That's a guarantee. So if you're whether you're dealing with a bodybuilder, or you're dealing with an athlete, or you're dealing with somebody just wants to lose weight, the quality of this protein is superior and has so many studies that shows that up that. So if they still question it, go to isogenicshealth.net and find the articles. Come to one of us, and we can get. I have a ton of articles, guys. A ton of articles. I'm sure the other leaders on this call have a lot of articles in their arsenal too. That when someone asks us a question, I go to my articles. I forward them the article. You have to utilize not just people, but you have to utilize what Isogenics gives us through isogenichealth.net, isogenicsproduct.com. You have to utilize those. That's why they're there. So that would be my answer.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Tara. What about you, Genevieve?
Tara's got the quality covered very nicely, but when I saw this question, all I was thinking was 2 things. Sure, yeah, you could buy whey protein for cheaper, sure, and Tara's got that covered. You're not going to get the quality, but the person that's saying that is missing a really, really, really big point. Really big point. Isogenics has over 70 products. This is meant to all go together. It is not just here's your protein, have your protein. It is our shake, it is our Ionic Supreme, it is our Cleanse for Life. It's all of it together. So you have to bring that point home. I mean, there is almost nobody that starts with this that is just using the shakes. And the reason why this is so successful is because John Anderson is brilliant and put a lot of love into all of these products. So that's why we're having the results that we're having. It's not just the protein. It is all of these. It is all of these together. And I think that's a really important thing that we want to make sure that we're sharing with people.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, so I think all of that's really good. I think what I like podcasts, so I learn from those, and there was just a really good one on the quality of the shakes and how they're made, and basically how when they get the raw materials, those are even rejected and sold off to companies to make cheaper shakes. So I don't go into a big comparison mode, but what I do talk about is the fact that, right now, I feel amazing. I average on, and Abigail's going to say this isn't natural, but 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night is what I do, and I have tons of energy during the day. I work a full-time job. I do this Isogenics thing. I run every morning, and I feel amazing. I've done things in the past, and it just makes me feel incredible. So I don't want to go into a comparison mode. I've done some other things in the past, and it didn't work out for me, and I can see the impact of me, my family, and the 550 people in Team Janus, and it's changing lives. You have a conversation like that and they still want to argue about it. I just don't get into the argument mode. I just say, hey, this is amazing, and when you're ready, I'll be here to coach you.
Perfect. As you can see, you guys, there's a lot of different answers to every question. There's not just one answer. And every one of us, every coach, every expert, if you will, we all have a different style. And we also have a lot of information in our arsenal that we bring out depending on who the person is that we're talking to. So the next question is, one of my friends tried it and lost a lot of weight, but then gained it all back. How do I keep the weight off? So, Kathy, you want to take a stab at that one?
Sure. The most important thing is for them to understand that this is not a diet program. This is not something that's just going to work while you're on it. This is the first step to a change in lifestyle, to a healthier way of eating and living. And if this is the first step to that, then you continue those good habits. Continue eating those good 400, 600 calorie meals, or stay on maintenance shakes if you need that type of discipline. But this isn't just a shot in the dark. It isn't just while you're on it. It's a lifestyle change. And that's what will continue. And that's how you keep that weight off.
Perfect. What about you, Tara?
Oh boy. You caught me off guard here. All right. This is what I say. I say, if you join, and I have said this, if you join a gym for 30 days and you commit 110% to that gym for 30 days, and that's after the 30th day, you quit and you never go back to the gym, will you gain the weight back? And the answer they usually say is yes. And I said, that's why this is a lifestyle change. This is not a diet, exactly like what Dr. Kathy said. This is a lifestyle change. So if you commit 100% to 30 days and you completely stop, yes, and you go back to your old eating habits, you will gain the weight back. I'm very honest with them. But I also say to them that, you know, once you lose your weight, I will meet with you. We will set up what maintenance is. I said I have 1,300 people on my team, and I can guarantee you all 1,300 are on maintenance, to be in maintenance in a different form. So it's not like, because that's one of the most common questions is like, when I hit maintenance, what do I do? And it's like, we will talk. We will set you up on a maintenance program after that. But this is a lifestyle change. I said, I will be drinking 2 shakes a day till I die. I said, and once you feel this, you'll see that. This is a tough one, though. I do get this a lot, and I think it's a great question, but that's usually how I address it with the gym thing. That's how you usually do it.
Yeah,
So.
I do the same thing. Genevieve, do you have a different spin on it?
Nope. Let's keep going. That was perfect. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Are you guys ready? I've talked to lots and lots of people and sent them information, but they never call me back.
Me.
Jen's up.
Me. Okay, so first and foremost, and Dawn actually started the call with this, this is so important. Don't forget about connecting right away with your upline. So, and I'm going to put this as the second first and foremost. Please don't be sending people information unless you already have a scheduled time to follow up with them, because that's why you're not hearing back from them. So what I want to do as quickly as I can, and I will post them in our event, so you can try to write down, but you don't have to because I will post it. These are the steps I've been following for quite some time now, and I'm just going to go over them really, really quick. It really works. It really works. So you treat everyone the same. You start by developing a rapport with them, and that's going to be different depending on if you have a relationship already or you don't. You focus on them and their needs. You stay super focused on them. You ask questions. You book an appointment. And now sometimes for me, it's just me and another person. But for the most part, it's you're newer, you're excited, somebody sends you a message, says, what are you doing? You take it to a private message, and this is where you're doing it. You're developing that rapport on that private message, and you're saying, I'm so new at this, I'd really like to get you connected to my coach and the person who introduced me. I've got Wednesday at 4 and Thursday at 6. You get that appointment scheduled. You say you're going to meet for coffee. You get the appointment scheduled. And then when it's set, then you get permission. Is it all right with you if I send you information? There, I cannot tell you, because I've done it both ways. I cannot tell you the difference that it makes, that commitment makes, getting that appointment booked first. So you send them the information. You have your appointment, whatever it is, however it is. You're taking them to a launch party. You're meeting them for coffee. You're doing it over the phone. And one way or the other, you're closing. You're either going to enroll them or you're not. And one way or the other, you're going to be following up with them. If you enrolled them, you're absolutely going to follow up and start following all the steps from that new associate interview and new associate checklist to make sure that you're setting them up for success. If they were no, it's always not right now, really. just not right now, then you're going to follow up anyway and thank them for their time. And then you do it over and over and over again. You don't just want to send people information, because that's one of the ways that they're actually just kind of, they're yeah-ing you, and they're kind of pushing you away. So you want to actually get them to commit to that. And if they don't want to, that's okay too, because it lets you know, it's qualifying them for your time, and it's letting you know that they're not quite there yet, and that's okay too.
Perfect. Mike?
Yeah, I thought that was perfect. Anytime you can get somebody on the phone or on a three-way call, that's where you need to talk to them. And don't worry about, get them with somebody until you're comfortable. And then when you're get into those situations, don't worry about being real and raw. Don't worry about being yourself or not knowing all the answers. Just be honest and open, and it'll make a world of difference. And then I think what we do, and I did it myself when I started, I made too much about the no's, because there's going to be people that it's not the right time in their life, or that it just doesn't work out. It's kind of like going into a room of people with a pack of gum, and you ask them, would you like a piece of gum? Oh, no, thank you. Would you like a piece of gum? Oh, no, thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. You wouldn't go and worry about the outcome. You wouldn't think anything of it when somebody says no in that environment, and it's a similar environment here. Love on people, find out really, truly what connect with them in a way where they can be friends. So I'm going to use Beth Miller as an example. She's amazing, and she's on the call today. She's had incredible results and had no inclination to do anything with the business. But we were old neighbors, connecting and learning about each other and making sure that she gets good results in that too. That's how you truly help people. And that's what it's about. And if you do that over and over, you're going to build a team of 500 plus people, because it's infectious. And that's how you're going to, so you're not selling, you're working yourself into their lives and how you can help them. You're a problem solver.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Mike. What about you, Tara?
I think they covered it all. I think they did.
Tara, we can't hear you.
Oh, they did an excellent job on that. I don't have anything to add.
Perfect. What about you, Dr. Kathy?
I think everything's pretty said. I'm good.
Okay. What about, this is one of my favorites, you guys. Oh, I would never want to do your business because I'm not a salesperson. I don't do sales. I'm not a salesperson, so I don't.
Yeah, I'll start with that one. So I usually, my response, and this is real life, salespeople drive me nuts. In my role, I get salespeople in all the time, and you can smell a salesman a mile away. So I said, oh, that's great, because I don't like salespeople either. I'm here to find out and make a relationship, connect with you, find out what's going on, and see if this is right for you, and just be genuine with that. Stop worrying about a sale or whether they're going to do it. Dig into really what's going on in their life. How can you help them? Ask those specific questions, and when you find out what's going on with them, they're going to be more apt to do it. And it's not from I need to get somebody on my team or land a big fish. That's not what it's about. You help enough people over time, you're going to grow a massive business, but it's all about helping people. And that's how, when I've done all the podcasts, all the research, all the millionaires I've seen, they have got the biggest caring heart that you've ever seen. So really finding out what's going on in people's lives and caring about your people is what's going to cause you to have success in this business.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. I agree. This is a gift. This is a gift, and someone shared it with you. And that's what I say to people. I say, this is a gift that somebody had the courage and the generosity to share with you. And that's all I'm suggesting, is that maybe you have the courage and generosity to share what's been so successful for you with somebody who might really need it. That's all we're talking about. We're not talking about sales at all. What about you, Dr. Kathy?
Same thing. I tell people, you're not selling anything, you're sharing. People are asking you for information, and you're giving them information. You're giving them a different way to think of things. I don't sell anything, and I'm not going to, and I'm just having a conversation with you about how we can help you get healthier.
Perfect. Tara?
100% agree. We do not sell, we share. We share. That's a huge difference, everybody. And also, people say, I don't have the personality to do what you do, Tara. I don't have your personality. You guys don't understand. I am the biggest introvert you will ever meet in your entire life. Honestly, we are hermits in our house. We do not leave our house, and I built this all basically from my house and a computer. So, and I don't consider myself a salesperson at all. I mean, I'm not a salesperson. I share what works for me, my family, my parents, my entire family with others, and you have to share it. And this is just a side note, and I know I'm getting a little bit off, but you have to develop trust with people. If I have to narrow all of this down, I'll say it forever, is you have to develop trust. Like Mike said, develop relationships with people. When they feel that they can trust you, they will come on board. I guarantee you that. But the second they feel that they can't trust you, or they lost your trust, you will not be able to get them as part of your team. Trust is huge. That's it, Dawn.
Okay, what about you, Genevieve?
So since I completely agree, I mean, that my line is, I share, people choose. I agree with that. I have to do the devil's advocate thing because I've heard this and I fell madly in love with it. So I actually don't remember where I heard it. I wish I do. It was probably at an Isogenics event in some way, but it's so awesome. Everyone is a salesperson. Every single person on the face of the planet is a salesperson. You're a salesperson when you go on a date with somebody. A pastor is a salesperson. They're sharing with their, the people of their, whatever denomination is. They're sharing and want people to be a part of what they have to say and want them to buy what they're saying. And it was, I know what it was. And that was another training that I did. And this person ran through all these examples. My jaw was on the floor because what I got is that it's just mindset. Like we have such a stigma attached to it. And we're all salespeople. I'm a salesperson with my kids, like however many moments of every single day, trying to convince them to do this or that. So it's just a devil's advocate thing because I have never ever felt like I've ever sold anything, and I loved to hear that because we need to get over it, really.
Agree. All right. So what do you say to somebody, Genevieve, when they say, "Why do you need my social security number and birthday?"
So I really rarely get this anymore, but I used to. So what I want to say about it is that if you're getting this objection, it's because you have an issue with it. So and once I got over my issue with it, I didn't get the objection anymore. So when it does come up, I say, well, when you start having fantastic results and everybody's telling you what you're doing, then Isogenics is going to give you thank you bonuses, and this is how they pay you your thank you bonuses when you start sharing.
Tara, what do you say?
That's exactly what I say. I say when that's totally fine. You do not need to give me your social security number at this time. But if you get results and your friends see results and they want to know what you're doing, and you tell them and they want to do it too, Isogenics will compensate you with a bonus for getting them on your team. So if you give me your social security number right away, you automatically start accumulating points, which turn into money once that person hops on board. So the best thing to do is to try to get it right away. But some people still don't. But the people that don't and then they go to enroll, I only had ever had one person not give their social security number. So yeah, that's how I do it. Well, like Genevieve.
What about you, Mike? Thank you, Tara.
Yeah, this is what I do, and it works 99% of the time. I say, oh, don't worry about that. That's what they use for their cash rewards program, and it's just for tracking purposes. They've got over 600,000 people in the company, and they've been around for 14 years. They're debt-free. They use it for tracking, and I've had one objection in almost 50 enrollments. So I just don't get it. I don't make a big deal about it. And like Genevieve said, when I started early on, I did make a big deal about it. It was because I had a problem with it. And that's when I got over myself, kind of like on the finance thing, because I'm the finance nerd. When I got over myself, I just don't have it that often anymore. So just say real quick, it's for the cash rewards program. You can go ahead and give me your social. You can give it over the phone. It's secure. We're good to go. And they just don't get it. So,
Dr. Kathy, have you had an issue with it?
Only occasionally. Most of the people that I speak to are my patients, and I already have that information. They've already given it to me. They're a little less likely to be afraid to give it to me again.
Yeah, again, I want to reiterate what Genevieve said. If you're having trouble getting people to sign up with their social security number and their birthday, it's because you have an issue, and you just need to talk to one of your coaches and try to work your way through it. And that's where it's generating from. It's not that all the people in South Carolina don't like to get their socials, or people that like to be on boats a lot don't like to get their socials, or people, it's you, and we can work through it, I promise.
So it's the way you ask. It's the way you ask for it too.
Yep.
If you kind of go, "Oh yeah, and I need your social security number," like, and whisper it, they're gonna be like, "What? Why do you need my social security number?" But if you're going through your thing, you're like, "Okay, I need your birthday, I need your social security number," and you're just kind of keep the same tone, the same pace. You know, they're less likely than you're like, "Oh, by the way, I need your social security number." Like you got to be confident when you talk.
Yeah, and I just want to add this in. I don't know. I still, it really, really works for me. I always do an enrollment on paper. I don't just sit in front of the computer and do it with a person on the phone. So I do my enrollments on paper and then put them in. And if for some reason it does come up, I let people know this, but I'm going to say it because hopefully everybody's doing this anyway, because we do want to protect people's information. As soon as that enrollment is through and I get, my phone is buzzing and I get that email that person's in, I take my Sharpie and a pen and I scratch out the credit card number and the social security number. And it's just my way of protecting their information, because I actually save those enrollment forms as part of my records and keeping track of my team. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, how about this one? I'm going to combine these two because we're running out of time and I know people want the answers. So the question is, how can I integrate the product into my current diet? I like what I'm doing, but wouldn't mind trying it if I knew how to make it work with my current protocol. And or I love food too much. I don't drink shakes because they're not real food. You can pick either of the, answer both or pick either of those two. Dr. Kathy, can you take it first?
Sure. First of all, I explained to people that food is something you take in for nutrition to make you healthier. That's the definition of this program. So to say that it isn't food, it's just not food the way you're used to knife, fork, chew, get extra calories. But it is food, and it is better food. And definitely the program has a lot of ways to make adjustments so that it fits with your life. And then I explain how quick and easy a shake is. How else can you get the protein, the minerals, the vitamins, the branched chain amino acids, all in 5 seconds of spinning up a shake and having a drink? If that's not food, and that's not fast food, and that's not good fast food, then they're missing the point. That this plan works beautifully in anybody's life. And it's easier than a lot of the things people are trying that don't work.
What about you, Jen? Thanks, Dr. Kathy. What about you, Jen?
Okay, so as far as the how do I integrate it in with my current, what I'm currently doing, this can be incorporated into any lifestyle, and I actually really, this is so right up my alley. So actually what I would say is, can you tell me a bit more about what you're doing so that I can actually give you some examples of how this would fit in? And for many people, that's not going to feel really comfortable because this might not be their forte. So we're coming right back around to it really can fit in well. I would love to get you connected to my coach or somebody on my team, just so you guys all know, we are all here for you. So if I'm not quote unquote, your person, you can reach out to me absolutely, and you know that. Use me. So anyway, so can I connect you to my mentor or somebody on my team who might be able to ask you the right questions to help you how this would actually go really well with your ABC protocol?
Perfect. What about you, Tara?
I'm just going to, there's many answers to this, but I'm going to actually quote Tracy O'Malley in one of her podcasts. When someone says, do you like to eat real food? You say, well, so do I. I mean, heck, who doesn't love food? I love the speed and convenience of my shakes. These are 2 meals a day that are flawless, free of chemicals and hormones. It's the best fast food out there. I mean, everyone is in a hurry in this world, and everyone's in a hurry. Every single person is in a hurry. And that's why they go to fast food, for convenience. What's faster than water and 2 scoops of a shake and shake it up and drink it down for the highest quality protein? So I mean, I think I said that once and Dawn liked it. It's the best fast food, highest quality fast food in the world.
Okay, I'm just going to do one more real quick because we are running out of time, and so I'm going to do it a quick and easy one. Dr. Kathy, why is the sodium so high? I have high blood pressure, so I can't use it.
The sodium's not high. Compared to the foods that we eat, 75% of the salt that we eat is in the processing of the foods that we eat. So foods that are less processed naturally have less salt. Isogenics makes its products with targeted salt. They allow 265 milligrams in a shake. You have 2 shakes a day, it's 530 milligrams. You can have 2,300 milligrams of salt in a day. That still leaves you 1,300 milligrams of salt for your regular meal. So there's plenty of space eating our foods to stay within your salt requirement. They're not high salt. Salt in a regular soup is 875 for a low salt, 1,500 milligrams in a high salt regular soup. Our isolene soups, 490 milligrams of salt. So there's not a lot of salt. To say that there is, it's really not exactly 100% true. It is really a better salt. And we also encourage people to eat more vegetables. That increases potassium intake, saves us from the salt that we are eating because the kidneys work better. So there's a lot of really good things that happen with this program. High salt is not a bad thing and is not here at all.
Okay, so let me say something, everybody. Haven't heard that question? Haven't heard the question, haven't heard the answer? Why are you trying to answer this question yourself? When there's somebody on our team who just, I mean, anyway, that answer blew me away. I'm like, done. I got it. You're clearly, you know, these people know what they're doing. You know, when Dr. Kathy explained it, didn't it make perfect sense to you? Like, why are you trying to answer these I'm not talking to you, Dr. Kathy. I'm talking to everybody else. Why are you trying to answer these questions on your own? There are answers to them, and they're actually really good answers. A quick example, I had people return the isodelites because they said, oh, they have, don't even ask me, phenylalkyl whatever, something in them that I've heard causes cancer. So they returned them. And it's, you know, a lot of times with our products and with what's in them, it's not the specific ingredient. It's how the ingredients work together. It's how they're processed. It's all the information that Dr. Kathy just gave. And so, you know, get your information from somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, really and truly. So I have a lot more questions here, and we're out of time. And so what I'm going to do, everybody, is hopefully you all said you were going to the event so you can go back and access the event. But we're going to take the questions that weren't answered, and I'm going to ask all the panelists. I'm going to post them. I kept track of them here, and I'm going to ask all the panelists to go in. I'll post. I think I'm going to post each one separately so everybody can come weigh in separately. And I just want to, I was hoping we would have time, I kind of knew we wouldn't, to open it out to questions. But I think we're probably going to have a second call. Yeah, so we're going to post the questions and we're going to post the answers in the event. And if you have follow-up questions that you didn't get answered or you would like to see answered, we'll have 4 experts that are going to be looking at these questions, and hopefully they'll weigh in on those as well. So hopefully everybody got a lot out of this call, and hopefully you really understand that you shouldn't be doing this by yourself. There's so many resources on this team, there's so much expertise, and we all want to help you. So when you try to do it yourself, you're actually taken away from the person that you're trying to help, because you're not really bringing them the best help that you can, if that makes sense. So thanks everybody for coming to the call. I do love these Zoom calls. Thank you to our panelists. You guys did an excellent job, and I think everybody learned a lot. I learned about sodium tonight. So thank you, Dr. Kathy, and see you guys all next week.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.